Oh, I think you're on mute. There you go. How's now?
Yeah. How are you guys doing?
Okay, we got you. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, guys.
Nice little display there behind you of all the trophies. So we are ready to go, and we'll go ahead and start with questions. To kick us off with questions, we will go ahead and call, let's see here, Chris, go ahead with your question.
Okay, Daniel, first off, thanks for joining us. The first question, I just want to go back a couple of weeks to your top 15 at Miami. You specifically singled out your pit crew for praise, saying, quote, they have a lot of potential. I haven't had that in probably 2 years. With that in mind, what's been the difference with this crew compared to the ones you've had in recent years at other teams?
Well, it's a combination of things. I've been working with these guys only for a few weeks, and they have a lot of potential. They're inconsistent, but they are fast, which is good. I have always thought that it's much easier to be fast and trying to work in consistency than being consistent and slow and trying to work on speed. And I have had good people in the past, but in 2017 and 18, I had the record of more loose wheels in those 2 years. So it's been difficult. We all know that pit road is extremely important, and don't get me wrong. All these guys, they work extremely hard. They are true athletes for what they do and how they push themselves. But sometimes it's just the combination of many things, and it's been a little bit difficult for me on pit road in the last several years. And I was very excited to see that I gained like 4 positions. I haven't done that in years. So I'm very excited to see the potential of this pit crew. We like I said, we're still very inconsistent, and there's a lot of things that we have to get better at. But the potential is there, the talent is there. So I'm happy to see that.
And if I could just do a follow-up, being that this is a new team, there were bound to be some growing pains. But through 4 races, from your perspective as a driver, have there been some challenges that may have surprised you?
Yeah, I think, just like any other new group, we have a lot of potential. We have shown that, but at the same time, there is a lot of things that we have to work and be better. I'm the kind of person that I always try to focus on the things that are bad instead of the things that are good. I see the things that are good, I say, okay, that's good. Now let's work on the things that are not so good. So I've been working very hard with my whole group in different areas to try to be better in the communication with the spotter and the whole group, because it's a brand new group. So I think the potential is there, but there is a lot of little things that we have to clean up to be able to be consistent in the top 15, top 10, and eventually, hopefully, be knocking at the door to race for wins.
Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Okay, our next question will come from Bob Popris. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Daniel, I'm curious, you're going to Phoenix, obviously a big Hispanic community in Phoenix, one place where you have a big fan base, and COVID has really impacted Latinos communities heavily. And I'm wondering, do you hear from fans about the impact of COVID as far as on their families and stuff? Do you have any sense of what, how much of an impact COVID has had on your specific fan base?
Yeah, I feel like COVID has impact. Hispanics, African Americans, Americans. All kind of different people. It's sometimes I just feel that different people has more risk because the different jobs that they have to do. Some of us we're very fortunate that we can do our jobs through a screen like we are doing right now. But there's a lot of people out there, a lot of Hispanics out there that they have to go out there to work, because if they don't, they can provide for their families. So, I hear a lot of people, a lot of fans through social media that that they're struggling and stuff like that. I know a lot of people that from Mexico, they have come to Texas to get the vaccine because they're struggling in many other places, even from Mexico. So, I just hope that we continue to do our job to be better. Obviously, right now we can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully we can get there safe and healthy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Okay, our next question is going to come from Jenna Fryer. Go ahead, Jenna.
Hey, Daniel. A few weeks ago, you tweeted you got sick in the car. I was wondering what happened and if that's ever happened to you before.
That has never happened to me before. Well, actually, it did one time, but it was probably the second time ever. I was in a go-kart, and I was just 11. And the reason why that happened is because I was having lunch, and my father rushed me to go to practice. And then I was eating my hamburger, and I jumped into the go-kart, and then everything went out. So that was, I don't know what he was thinking. But anyway, this situation in Homestead was, in Miami, in Daytona, was completely different because I was fine. I had lunch. I'm very particular when it comes to food. I eat very, very well, very healthy. At the same time, my stomach has been, for many years, it's been a little delicate when it comes to, food and stuff like that. So, this has never happened to me in a race car, but it has happened to me outside the race car. And I was feeling perfect in the start of the race. In the middle part of the race, I started feeling bad, and it just started to escalate. It was getting worse. At one point, before I puked, I was so dizzy, I was so weak, I couldn't even see I remember getting ready for a restart, and I couldn't see my switches, the switches of my blowers on my tires. I couldn't reach them because I was so dizzy. And then that lap was the one that I started throwing up. And once that happened, I was perfectly fine. Very dirty, but perfectly fine. So whatever I ate for lunch, it was actually white rice and grilled chicken. Something was bad. We thought that it was the chicken that maybe just got, different temperatures at one point or something. You never know with, food being in the motorhome. Sometimes you run out of electricity and you don't even know. So, it happens.
You think it was food related?
Yeah, it was for sure because, as soon as I threw up, I was completely fine. So, I raced for an hour and a half, feeling very, very bad. And the last 30 minutes, the last 15 laps of the race, that was around 30 minutes, I was all nasty, but I was perfectly fine. So yeah, it was definitely food related.
Okay, and I hate to keep harping on it, but you raced not feeling well. How did you get through it?
I'm the kind of person that I will never give up on my team. And the way I see myself, if I give up on my team, I'm giving them an opportunity to give up in the future. And I don't want that. I will do everything in my power to power through and trying to do my best to complete a race and to finish, whatever it takes. And to be very honest with you, I was feeling very bad, but I never even thought about stopping the car. That wasn't an option for me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Daniel.
Okay, our next question will come from Woody Kane.
Hey, Daniel, appreciate your time. I wanted to look ahead a week to Atlanta. And for those of us who don't drive race cars professionally, can you describe how the feeling of how it is when that track chews up your tires and the bumps you go through and hanging on and making sure it does like it's supposed to for the whole race?
Atlanta is a lot of fun. And you know what? It's crazy to think, but it's been a long time since we've been in Atlanta. It was back in 2019, in the beginning of 2019. So it's been such a long time, and I can't even remember the last, exactly what happened the last time we were there. But I love that place. It has a lot of character. It's very difficult. A lot of bumps, very, very rough on tires. Every driver is gonna be screaming for grip, for downforce. But it's a fun place. I really enjoy it a lot, and really looking forward to finally come back after. Oh my God, it's been. It's going to be almost 3 years, so it's crazy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our next question is going to come from Marty. Go ahead, Marty.
Hey, thanks, Amanda. Daniel, thanks for your time, man. Hope you're well. Actually, want to look another week to the Bristol Dirt Race. iRacing came out with the Bristol Dirt Trek 2 days ago. I know you're an iRacer competing in the Pro Invitational. I'm curious how much prep will rely on iRacing in advance of that race weekend.
That's a tough question. I mean, I felt that, you know, it always helps. It's better than nothing. But the real life is a real life. It's different, you know. I mean, maybe you can get sideways and you can get a feeling, but the way that the car is going to drive on a video game versus the real life is going to be completely different. And yeah, I mean, we're going to have fun, and we're you know, we can practice a little bit there, but at the end of the day, it's gonna be different. Nobody really knows what to expect. If somebody tells you what to expect, I think they're lying, because nobody's been there. Nobody has had a stock car on dirt. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how things work out. Everyone is getting experience the way that they can. Some drivers on late models, some drivers in stock dirt cars, some drivers on iRacing or different, you know, simulators. But the real test is gonna come until we hit the racetrack. So we'll find out to see how things go.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm actually just about to look it up, but did you ever race a truck at Eldora or no?
I have never been there in my life.
Okay.
The last time I was on dirt, it was in a motorcycle.
Okay. So just going back, and I hate to ask a third question, but doing testing on the iRacing, I know you said it's probably gonna be different than it is on the real life, but it seems like the big test when it comes to driving these cup cars, when I was testing on it, seems to be throttle control. Is that what you possibly expect when driving a 3,400 pound like stock car that time?
Yeah, you know, I think it's gonna be almost like racing in the rain. You know, like you have way too much power. I was actually joking with my crew chief that probably in Bristol dirt is gonna be the only racetrack of the year that I'm gonna ask for less horsepower because we're gonna have too much. We won't be able to use it. So you know, we see how things go, but it's gonna be everything about patience, car control, and survive, because a lot of guys are gonna be hitting each other. So these cars are gonna be very messed up by the end of the race.
Gracias, sir. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, and we have time to fit in one more quick question. Eric Smith, go ahead with your question. We have approximately 1 to 2 minutes with Daniel left. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, Daniel, 4 races in, and you talked about your pit crew, but I'm just curious, before the season to now, is the speed in the car about what you thought it would be at this point, or is there something more you feel like you need in the car to help the other 32 races moving forward?
Honestly, the speed is being, I mean, Daytona was better than what I thought we were going to have. You know, in Miami, it was a little bit better than what I thought we were going to have. In Vegas, it was a little bit worse than what I thought we were going to have. But listen, we're still a new team. You know, we have a lot of new people. We're still gambling in many different areas, trying to understand what we need, how to communicate, how hard should we push the splitter. At this point of the season, I wish we're having at least a couple practice. That will be gold for our team right now, because right now, I mean, the whole team is brand new, and we get to practice on the simulator, put that setup on the real car, go to a racetrack and hope for the best. And if for some reason the simulator was off, we're going to be off the rest of the day in the race. And that's exactly what happened in Las Vegas. So in Las Vegas, I mean, I'm sure that if we were making some adjustments, like big adjustments on the car, we're going to be competitive, just like we were, you know, in Miami. But obviously we didn't have the chance to do that. I mean, we couldn't change chocks or heights or stuff like that. So, you know, it's one of those things that we just still learning. You know, we are building our notebook, and we are learning from each other. And I feel like my team has a lot of potential, but we are through the learning process at this point.
Thanks, Daniel. Good luck this weekend.
All right, Daniel. Thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you, guys. Have a good day.